Regional Innovation and Technology Alliance. This is a clone of a concept already in place in several other states around the country. Closest to us, obviously, is California with what they call MISAC, their Municipal Information Systems Association of California, whereby all local government agencies, in MISAC's case, it's really cities and special districts. There are no counties involved, okay? Where they allow all IT organizations within the local government agencies to have their members. They don't have to be CIOs or IT directors. They can be anybody. Actually participate with the association, or in our case, the alliance, and collaborate with one another on work that they might be performing. So with Arizona not having a similar organization other than, say, this body here for Maricopa and the AZCIO organization, we explored whether or not it made sense to open this up to all IT personnel in local government and form a new association, in this case, RITA, and have been gauging whether or not there's enough interest to go forward. The short version is absolutely, it's overwhelming interest. I have yet to run into any government agency that I have spoken with that says, no, they're not interested. This doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be a participant. Each and every person I have spoken with has been resoundingly in favor and wants to find out how quickly we can get this done. So just to give you a refresher on what exactly it is we're trying to accomplish here, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I have to send a request, Tracy, so.
Hey, Scott, you should be good to go.
Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to share screen too. Okay, RITA. So what this is originally, or starting forward, this will be 4 states: Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah, where we will open this up to not just CIOs and directors, but to all IT personnel within any state and local government agency. That includes counties, cities, townships, and special districts. And allow my GIS person to talk to Flagstaff's GIS person on any project or any problematic thing they're running into in a collaborative, utilizing a collaborative chat tool, if you will. Okay, this would be a nonprofit organization that would be run on a day-to-day basis by an independent third party. So this is not government run, okay, but it would be directed strategically by a representative group of the members. In our case, the local agencies, local government agencies. We would assign members across those 4 states to represent us and tell the third-party company, here's the direction we want this particular RITA entity to go. These are the things we want you to focus on. These are the things we want you to put in place, et cetera. So we're the board of directors, so to speak. Okay, there would be a member annual fee, an enterprise fee of $1,000 a year, would allow all of your IT personnel to be members and participate in the collaboration and sharing of information. If you're a smaller entity, $75 to $100 per person. So it's not a lot of money to jump into the water here and swim with everybody. There would be not just a collaboration aspect of this, but eventually we would be growing to a point where we could hold our own conference and do workshops, have guest speakers, keynotes, and make it a real legit event. And I will, again, compare this to what MISAC did over in California. The last conference had over 1,500 attendees, sold out the Monterey, California hotels, took every room they had in the city. And we had 3 different keynote speakers of national prominence come and talk to the group, and over 37 independent workshops at that that conference on different topics, different, let's call them channels. Could be GIS, it could be project management, could be infrastructure and architecture, et cetera, whatever we wanted to make them. Okay. Getting everybody together also gives us the opportunity to leverage our numbers with vendors. Okay, whether it's purchasing, Copilot from Microsoft or Adobe licenses or some of the bigger stuff that all of us use. There is tremendous power in having enough members together, talking to those vendors and explaining to them, I'm not going to do a one-off deal for my small little township. I'm going to leverage the RITA deal that gets us a better baseline price. So these are all the things that are possible and that we intend to make come true. But probably once this starts, and I'll give you a status on where we are. Once this starts, the obvious immediate benefit is the collaboration. For instance, we're looking at changing our mobile device management system. So I might put out something out there to everybody saying, hey, we use IBM's Mass 360 MDM currently. What are you guys using and do you like it? If I'm looking to replace them, and get all the feedback and what are the good things, what are the bad things about the product you're using, and so on. But it's very easy and very fast with what you can put out there and the responses you can get from peers that are dealing with the same things we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So it's very beneficial. Are we big enough to make this become a reality? The short answer is yeah. There are over 2,700 local government agencies between those 4 states I mentioned. Okay, the member funding alone at $1,000 a pop. If we got 10% of all those agencies just to sign up, that's $272,000 in the bank. The reality is it's going to wind up being the vendors that fund this more so than the members. Okay, the vendors like Oracle, Zoom, Adobe, you name it, people you work with are paying well over $6,500 a year to be a quote platinum partner, which allows them access to the membership and allows the board to select vendors to give appropriate webinars. If they release a new product or they have a new feature or they have a new security function that they want to tout to their customers, we can actually set them up to do a free webinar for the membership where we jump on and see what they've got. It works well for the vendors, it works well for the membership, and it's very inexpensive yet effective marketing dollars on their behalf. Okay, in the case of MESAC, they have 65 platinum partners that are paying $6,500 a year. And they capped it at 65 because there's well over 100 more that want to be platinum partners and pay the money. And they're just saying, no, that's just way too much, right? We'll pick the cream of the crop and make them the platinum people. And yes, we'll take their money and bank it. And despite MESAC's best efforts to spend all the money they collect, they're sitting in California with $1.5 million in the bank account right now. They tried to spend it at the conference. They bought out the entire Monterey Bay Aquarium and had dinner catered for all the conference attendees, and they still couldn't spend the money. So money is not going to be an issue, and enthusiasm from vendors will not be an issue. The actual startup of this will wind up going toward $30,000 for legal setup and filing fees. This is its own independent entity, a nonprofit. $15,000 for the collaboration software and the hosted website. We'll pay the third-party operator upwards of $200,000 to manage the day-to-day things, file all the papers, keep us as a legal entity so that we don't have to worry about those things. And yet still put a bunch of money in the bank that we can use on events or, hiring speakers or, whatever the board decides is the best use of the money on behalf of the membership. And really, it's all about the collaboration posts. This is an example of a test site that we've put up where we can post different topics and people can respond to this in real time. And it just gives you a running thread and reports on a weekly or daily basis, your choice, on what's trending out there. Okay, do we have a bunch of people trying to join that we need to approve? Do we have particular topics that are trending toward the top of the list that maybe we want to jump on and make a comment with, or at least read what other people are doing and what they've said? This also has an ability to archive particular types of documents that we could share with one another. For instance, your AI policy. If you've created an AI policy for your agency, maybe others haven't quite gotten there yet, and they might want to use yours as their template. We can put that in an archived area that everybody has access to, let them take a look at how you did it, and pick and choose and basically emulate the pieces that they like the most in your particular policy. That can also go for RFPs. I mean, has anybody done an ERP replacement lately? Do you have an RFP? Does anybody have an RFP that has done that? It just saves you time, effort, and it's nice to know what other people are doing, because a lot of the problems are always similar. Not all, but most. The other aspect to RITA, while we're starting with the 4 states, if you look up above Nevada and Utah there, you've got Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. Those locations do not have anything like this either. And we've already been getting phone calls from Boise, Idaho. The CIO in Boise said, "Hey, I hear you guys are doing this. Can we be a member too?" So that's the kind of interest we're getting. Right now, it's just word of mouth, and people are wanting this to become a reality. So what we've done in the background, and I think I've communicated this via email to most of you, is we put out a mini RFP looking for the third-party operating company. We got 3 proposals that came in just before January 1st, and they were from a group called ARC. They're the ones who run MESAC. Fusion Partners, Public Technology Institute, that's Dr. Alan Shark, if you've ever heard of him. And also the Connective, which many of us are familiar with here, all put forth proposals. I had an evaluation team of myself, Arlene over in Glendale, Arizona, and the CIO of Salt Lake City, Aaron Bentley. And we rated and ranked the proposals that came in, and the top 2 are ARC and Fusion Partners. We're about to have a phone call with each of them next week to clarify any questions the evaluating team had, and there weren't many. Both of them are very qualified and can do this for us. The least expensive one was ARC. I'm looking at the numbers, right? But they weren't inexpensive by much, maybe 20 grand a year. So it wasn't a huge difference. Okay, but we're going to have a meeting with them, ask our questions, and then the 3 of us will come back with a recommendation on this is the group that we think we want to start with. So this is all happening quickly. By end of next week, we'll have the vendor selected, and then it's a matter of them filing the papers to make this a legitimate legal entity. And then we start going out, recruiting members and collecting membership dues. That's where we sit today. And I can tell the group here, just off the top of my head, we have in Nevada, we have Las Vegas, Henderson, North Vegas, Clark County, Reno, Sparks, Washoe County, all on board right now with wanting to do this. In Utah, we have Salt Lake City, Provo, I'm going to butcher the name, New Western City. It'll come to me. All on board wanting to do this. And in New Mexico, we have Las Cruces, Albuquerque on board wanting to do this. So it's going to happen. So just stay tuned for more information. I'll send out blanket emails to everybody to give you status and updates. And then when the site goes live, to be able to officially sign up. I'll let everybody know that, and we'll be off and running. My hope is by end of February, this will be legitimate. Happy to take any questions. Anybody not want to be a part of this?
No, this is fantastic. Scott, I do have a question. So with the annual membership of, I think you said it was $1,000, is that like unlimited for your IT department, or
Yes.
are we looking at some sort of modeling at some point? I mean, obviously some ITs departments are a lot larger than others, so I didn't know if
Right.
you were gonna have any modeling based on size.
Not really. Just going again. So for 7 years, I was one of the wheels at MESAC, so I know the inner workings of how it what was good, bad, and ugly about it. So that's good in and of itself. So I can avoid some of the silliness that they tried to do that just didn't work. But no limit. Whether you're 160 people in your department or whether you're 7. Okay, the $1,000 lets everybody be there. I actually have Mesa is a member of MESAC. Now that sounds silly, right? It's California Association, but because of my relationships there, they let Mesa join. And the funny part is Mesa is, along with San Diego and Los Angeles, the largest members of MESAC. And my team here loves it, and they leverage it daily, to the point where people were saying, "Gee, hey, Mesa, stop asking so many questions. You know, you're eating up all the collaboration time." But it's $1,000, and it can be anybody that you want to have be a member. Typically, all your IT organization, and in our case, I actually brought our CFO into it because they're talking about value adds for what technology brings, returns on investment. And I wanted him to see those collaboration pieces, and he loves it. He says, "Oh, this is great. This helps me explain it." Right. So it's whoever you want to have join, and it's open. And the more the merrier, because we get better collaboration that way and better offering of different points of view. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And I saw somebody. Oh, there we go. There we go. Jared, you got your hand up?
Yes, sir. Just, I mean, I'm sure many folks would say the same thing, but I think this is a fantastic opportunity for us to be able to collaborate together, work together on so many different things. Having recently come from the state of Texas, there's similar organizations there that allow for collaboration and joint procurement and a lot of other things. So I just want to say that I think this is fantastic. Appreciate it, Scott, for you thinking of this.
Yep. No, and it's funny, we were looking at the map trying to figure out who are the states that don't have this, right? So, I mean, and everybody, if you look at the map, we should probably gobble up Colorado, but they have their own thing. So I don't want to come in and reinvent the wheel. I want to come in and say, hey, this is a way for us to all get organized. And then I will tell you all, if you hear this, it did come from me. I jokingly tell the people in MESAC that when we're done building RITA, we're going to acquire them. So take them over.
Hey, fantastic.
Other questions? Okay, back to you, Tracy.
Thank you. MAG staff will provide an update on the plans for the future of the Valley Gov Tech Recruiter website. And this item is on the agenda for information and discussion and will be presented by Greg Chenery, IT Systems Analyst 3 with MAG IT Division.
Thank you, Tracy. Before I jump in, I did notice Lisa Faison, who jumped on. You're the proxy for Justin Fair from Goodyear, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much. All right, thank you, Madam Chair and members of the Technology Advisory Group. In 2018, based on direction from TAG, MAG created and developed the Valley Gov Tech Recruiter website. It is a regional IT-focused job search website hosted and maintained by MAG to address regional IT recruitment and retention concerns and to promote IT in local government. Through the oversight of TAG, the website launched in February 2019 and was made available to member agencies to register accounts and post jobs. Outreach included marketing materials, subscription bulletins, and social media. MAG staff also attended job fairs at public and private schools to promote the site. We received continuous traffic at the time of launch, but since the pandemic, the landscape has changed. There are fewer IT positions available, and larger recruitment sites that focus on municipal jobs provide a central location to post open positions from all departments rather than just focusing on IT. This has resulted in negligible traffic on the site over the past year from both job postings and visitors. It has become clear that Valley Gov Tech Recruiter is no longer addressing the needs of the region, and I would like to briefly discuss its future. It is MAG's intention to sunset the website. Now, to save brand integrity and ensure visitor safety, the domain name will be renewed for a reasonable amount of time to prevent bad actors from claiming it and possibly using it for nefarious redirection purposes. MAG will create a landing page to forward any remaining traffic to member agency recruitment pages on their respective websites. That concludes my presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions from the committee.
I just have to say that it was a great idea at the time. There wasn't that kind of place for technical, you know, all the cities to post their technical jobs. But I think you're right. There's a lot of other platforms now that are kind of filtering and you can really hone in on government jobs and technical jobs and things like that. But I know I do appreciate the work that went into it. You know, it had great promise, and it's kind of sad that it didn't work. Anybody have any other questions or comments?
Just a thought, Tracy and Craig. So, okay, so this didn't take off like everybody expected it to. This is something that could be folded into Rita once it's up on its feet and be able to, you know, I don't want the collaboration space to be hey, we have an opening for a GIS engineer 3. We should have a separate spot where people can post openings, right? Or job things, so that the 4-state membership can look at that and go, oh, you know, I mean, I don't want us to steal from each other, mind you,
What?
right? That's not the thing. But if somebody's looking to move or make a move, or there's an advancement opportunity, I think we would be well served to kind of promote that. I mean, just throwing it out for thought and comment.
Do you have any comments on that, Audrey?
You know, I think that we can't really discuss that under this agenda item because of the way it's posted, but I think it would be appropriate for people to give Scott feedback on that offline.
Sounds like a plan.
Scott.
All right. Any other comments or questions? And we'll move on to item 7, agency project updates. This is an opportunity for committee members to present or a brief summary of current projects that may be of a regional interest to the committee. Anybody have anything? I know the City of Surprise, we have a couple things in the hopper. I don't know that I can quite talk about them yet. A couple RFPs will go out shortly. So I don't know that I'm at liberty to say yet, but we'll have something further coming on that. But is there any other agencies that have any fun stuff going on? Everybody's waiting for their long weekend, apparently. All right, well, we'll move on. Item 8, are there any requests from the membership for an item on a future agenda? And Audrey, I'm only seeing you, so I'm not sure if something happened to audio.
No, we hear you fine.
Yeah, we
Oh,
hear
okay.
you just fine.
Oh, okay, because I only see Audrey right now, and it could just be the way I have my my Zoom formatted. That's probably what it is. Sorry, guys. All right, well, you guys give that some thought. If there is any other future agenda items that you would like to add, you know, just feel free to reach out to MAG, and we'll get that considered for next for our next meeting. Sorry, now I can see you all. So did anybody have their hand raised or anything? We're good. Everybody's quiet. All right. Okay, so the next meeting of the Technology Advisory Group will be on Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 10 a.m. So with no further business, today's meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.